You know, I gotta wake up and I gotta, like, hit a short and go, "Oh," you know, anyway, this orangutan sitting in a pair of shorts, and the boy reaches a little boy sitting next to him, and he reaches over and he touches the orangutan's nipple, and the orangutan looks at him and reaches both his hands up and grabs both the kid's ears behind him and wiggles. It's just like, so like, I'm like, "Okay." The orangutan's wearing a pair of shorts. Anyway, so I go down to the comments just to, you know, because I gotta see who's angry. Everyone's angry. And I understand. And they're saying, well, this orangutan belongs in the jungle, not wearing shorts. And us take these pants off, take clothes off these animals. Stop treating these animals. This majestic animal should be swinging in the jungle, not sitting next to this boy taking pictures and smiling for the camera and blah, blah, blah. You know, he was ripped from his mother's arms and she was bludgeoned to death or whatever. And I'm going, well, maybe he wasn't, though. I know. I feel the same way about zoos and things. But there's such, man, I know. And how do we tell the difference? And we're not going to be able to regulate the whole fucking thing. But I don't like the trade of wild animals on the market. I don't like the dogs that are being backyard bred with. My dog has so many. I'll take some picture. It's absolutely horrific where her mane, I mean, she's got chronic mange in her crotch, and she'll never be able to get rid of it because there's not supposed to be hair there. Like the different birth defects that these animals come up, and then they got to live with them for life, and we got to live with them, and they're suffering from them. It's not just, I mean, anyway, my point being, some of these animals are not ripped from their mother's arms and watch their mother be murdered in front of them, although that does happen, I'm sure. I'm sure it happens a lot, but sometimes they're just foundlings, rejected by the troop, the group. They're found injured, their mother is killed accidentally, whatever. You know, there's times when these are just orphaned animals that wouldn't have made it without us. And if they live in a different life in captivity because of that, and it's not that terrible, well, it is what it is. But I get it. I get where y'all coming from. I'm just as angry about the, you know, the animal trade, the wild animal trade. They're bringing them, they sell them to stupid Americans. I mean, all these lizards and snakes and different things, they set them loose in Florida and they're freaking eating people's dogs. So we shouldn't be having, we shouldn't be having these things. My daughter's got a snake because somebody left it at her house. Some guy came over one night and saying, I need a place to stay for the night. And she's like, all right, you can stay one night. Well, he brought his snake and she's like, I saw it like the next day or a couple days later, I'm looking at this box going, what's in this box? She opens this cardboard box, there's a snake in it. She was like, I guess she Googled it because we weren't talking at the time. And she was like, and then when I saw her a few months later, she's like, I got a snake. Look at my snake. Mom, like a snake. She hates animals. How could she hate animals? She says she doesn't know why she never connected to animals as a child. And I do wonder that. I'm like, what happened to her? Because me and animals are like, or I feel like we are anyway, you know. And her older sister, and they were both in school once. Well, imagine that. They were both in school. But their school had this trip to a horse farm where they would ride horses, which was a fucking arm and a leg. And I thought, oh, Paige is going to love this. And Morgan's probably going to be like, where? It was the exact opposite. Paige was like scared to death. And Morgan came home and said, Mom, it was like the horse was an extension of my body. I was like, exactly. There you go. Now you understand. And then later, you know, the one that's afraid of horses is like a Pegasus swinging on a pole, like flying in the back. I'm going, that's not, but she got her snake, and then it softened her up enough to catch the cat outside that was loose running around hungry, and now he belongs to her in her condo. So everybody's mad about the animals in captivity. I'm like, yeah, me too. But I mean, don't assume where he came from. You don't know. We don't know where this guy came from. He might have been saved from a forest fire for all we know, and we don't know where his people are. So, you know, just we got to get on with our day. You can't worry about that orangutan. I mean, nobody's beating the shit out of him. It's okay. You know, we got to let it go. It's all right, YouTube. We got to move on. It's terrible, isn't it? We can't save every orangutan wearing a pair of plaid shorts, smiling for the camera. We can't save them all.